Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be making a little wish list slash prediction list of vehicles I'd absolutely love to see from this new GTA 5 car culture update. Now it has not come yet, but it is supposed to come out pretty soon, and I'd like to get my bit out and make a little couple predictions here and there. Hopefully get some of these vehicles to show up. I don't expect everything, but we can dream. Now if there is anything you'd like to add, or you agree, disagree with any of that, do write it down in the comments below. I do read through all of them. And if you would like to see a more generalized video on talking about this update, I have made a previous video on it, so go check it out. The link is in the description and in the top right. All of that being said, if you do enjoy this style of content, please do drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more. Everything else is in the description, but let's get into it. Now the way this list is going to work is it's going to be basically splitting everything up into the categories that we would see in the GTA Online racing area. So you've got your sports classics, your compacts, your off-road, your trucks, split it up kind of like that. But first up, we're going to be talking about sports classics. We're going to kind of merge them both into one, and we're going to be talking, of course, the main thing that probably everyone here wants to see, the main thing that everyone is yammering on about, I got to include it first, is those classic JDM cars. Okay, those late 80s, early 90s sort of era vehicles like the FD, Mazda RX-7, the Gen 1 NSX, very likely vehicles that we could see coming to the game. The ZR350 was the RX-7 in San Andreas. Hopefully that will make a return, as many people have been requesting. We could see the introduction of the NSX as the maybe a Jester Retro Custom. That'd be an awesome Benny's vehicle. We could have maybe even a wide body kit on it or something. Another vehicle a lot of people have been asking for, I think is very likely we'll see, is something along the lines of a Mitsubishi Evo. Maybe hopefully one of the later models like an Evo 7 or something. It'd be absolutely awesome to see. On top of that, maybe get something like the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, the VR4. Okay, this one, another legend in the JDM scene, and tons and tons of car people are very, very, very fond of this vehicle. Okay, and it has made a presence in GTA before with San Andreas. We did see it as the Super GT, so hopefully maybe we get some return of these older vehicles that were in previous GTA games, as were the RX-7 and NSX. As well as this, we might also see something along the lines of the Mark III or Mark V Supras. Now, that last one is a little bit controversial because everyone just adores the Mark IV, but I honestly don't see any reason why they shouldn't. The Mark V Supra is here to stay, and including it in the next update is probably a good decision in my opinion. As well as that, we can maybe see something along the lines of the Infinity sort of cars, like maybe the Infinity like a G35 or something along those lines. Another very, very customizable, tunable car that is pretty prominent, particularly in the American car scene. Love to see that. In addition to that, we honestly, so many of us are hoping to see the ZR350, the ZR380. I keep getting them too confused. The ZR380, aka the Nissan 350Z or 370Z, but the non-armored version. Okay, it looks so ugly with the armor on. Please, Rockstar, please, if anything, just re-release the car or give us some kind of way to remove the armor. I'll be so happy with that. As well as that, I'd love to see some representation of some of those European cars as well in this sort of area. So stuff like the BMW E34, the E36 that so many of us idolized growing up because of like Need for Speed Most Wanted. Some Porsches like the 944, the 930 Turbo. Okay, that is one of my all-time favorite cars, and I'd absolutely love to see that in GTA. Maybe even get some British cars like the Ford Capri, the Sierra RS Cosworth. That car right there is an absolute legend, and if they include stuff like the Cortina but not the Cosworth, that should just be a war crime right there. I do not care what anyone else thinks. That car has too high a notoriety and is too famous to not be included in something like this. It's too big an opportunity to be missed, and it should be included, no doubt about it. And last up, maybe get some old school Aston Martins like the V8 Vantage. Honestly, would be amazing to see that kind of thing. All of these vehicles, you know, pretty popular with the tuner scene, the car culture scene, and huge potential for loads of different customization options, maybe Benny's options, all of that. And I think there's a high likelihood we'll see at least a few of these come into the next update in the game. So I am looking forward to seeing some of these hopefully come with this next update. But let's move on to the next section. Now, in terms of the muscle class, I think that a lot of people are wanting some more modern muscle cars to be coming from this next update, because we have been getting classic muscle cars for a while now, and while they are always welcome, you know, maybe get something in there like the old Pontiac GTO, the Ford Mustang Boss, the Jensen Interceptor, you know, even like the 90s era stuff like the Fox Body or the SVT Cobra. All of them could be amazing additions in this next update, and I would love to see. But what I think most people want at the minute are the more modern kind of muscle cars that have not been included, such as the ZL1 Camaro and the Hellcat Charger. Okay, we've got the modern Mustang with the, you know, in the form of the GTX. We've got the Gauntlet Hellfire, which is the Challenger, and, you know, not including the Camaro, which is one of those more recognizable American muscle cars, like the newer ones, I think would upset a lot of people. I think a lot of people would want that to come out, and a lot of people would be very glad to see that come to the game. Same thing with the Charger. You know, we've included the Challenger. Why just go, you know, halvesies and not go the full way with it? I would absolutely love to see that come to the game. Very popular, I think, in the American car scene again, and a lot of people would welcome it coming to the game. Now, in terms of the compacts class, I think there's one that most people have got on their minds, and I think I do too, and that is the Mazda MX-5. There's no reason not to include it. That cute little thing has got to be in the game. Okay, we have to have an MX-5. Alright, they can't just keep, you know, neglecting the compacts class or even the Coupes class or whatever, but I want to see an MX-5 in this next update. We could have so many liveries for it, so many types of builds. It'll be amazing. Maybe we could even see stuff like the Renault 205 or the Lancia Delta Integrale with the racing pedigrees both of those cars have, and, you know, I love the rally builds that we see in this game, you know, even like the Retinue and that. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. Okay, these could be easily put in the game, and honestly, it would be a nice addition to the rally class of racing if these came into it, because I don't think we've had that many new cars for that area of racing in a really long time. I think that's a pretty small class as well. You know, leading on from that, in the compacts class, maybe seeing something like a Volkswagen Scirocco would be nice, or even a Honda S2000. You know, again, JDM cars are going to be mentioned here a lot, but that is so popular with the car scene, I don't see any reason not to. Plus, we all know Rockstar loves implementing vehicles that have made huge features in films such as Fast and the Furious, you know, stuff with the focus on the tuner scene, and it would be an easy way you could just put some more Fast and Furious liveries in the game. Okay, you see them all the time at car meets, people bringing like Brian's Supra, you know, Brian's R34 inspired, you know, Elegy Retro, that kind of thing, and they could just, you know, add a livery for Johnny Tran's S2000. I think that would be awesome. Maybe they could even include something along the lines of, you know, Integra Type R, but I don't know how likely that is. Now, in the Coupes class, I doubt there's going to be a whole lot added for this because Rockstar really neglects it, and we haven't seen a whole lot of Coupes added in the last few years. But I would love to see, if anything, just the introduction of the old Sentinel that showed in previous GTA games like GTA 4. Okay, I think that was based off of the E46 M3, and if we saw something like that make a return, it would be absolutely great to see. Now, moving on to the supercars class, I do think that we will probably see some new supercars from this update, just because Rockstar are really clearly into doing that. I mean, almost every update we get some kind of new supercar added to the game. So if they did, here are a few of the ones that I think we could possibly see, such as the Koenigsegg Jesko, maybe the Lamborghini Cyan, maybe even like some of the Aventador variants like the SVJ or whatever. Or maybe they might go for a more classic kind of route and go for some older ones. I mean, we have seen the introduction of the McLaren F1 into the game, so maybe they might go along that sort of thing, and they might introduce the EB110, one of the really old, well, I say really old, but one of the older Bugatti supercars. Honestly, I could see any one of those being added to the game probably wouldn't be too crazy, but it would be a nice addition either way. Now in terms of off-road vehicles, I really don't expect to see too many of these as they're not the most popular vehicles in GTA, but if we did see some stuff, I'd love to see the addition of something of maybe like a P38 Range Rover, some of those older Range Rovers like from the 80s, 90s kind of thing. Could have tons of customization, be a really capable off-road vehicle, maybe even something for Bennies. Okay, we could convert one of the normal ballers and make it like a retro custom and have it like an off-road build or something. I think that'd be sick. Tons of customization there. Maybe get something like the Chevy Silverado, since we already have like a Ford Raptor in the game. Maybe some of the newer Jeeps like the Wrangler or the Cherokee, and maybe even something like the Cybertruck. Okay, an electric truck in GTA I think would be awesome. But knowing Rockstar, they probably attach some kind of like missile launcher or something on the front of it for some reason, I don't know. But you know, I don't think off-road will have too many additions, but particularly something like a Range Rover I'd love to see. Finally, I wanted to mention the Sedans class because there is one vehicle in particular I'd absolutely love to see from this next update, and that is going to be the Volvo 850 T5R. That thing is an absolute beast and one absolute legend in the motoring world, and it was at the time and it still is to this day. They did go ahead and add the Vulcan Nebula Turbo, which is the Volvo 242, so I'm hoping that in this update we do get to see a new Volvo, and maybe even this one. But all that being said, that is my wish list slash prediction list of what I hope and expect to see from the next update in GTA Online. Do let me know your opinions down below. Would you add or take away anything from this list? Go ahead and comment that down below. I will read through them. If you did enjoy, go ahead and drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more. But that's going to be all. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Discord, everything's in the description if you ever like to join one of my comments or any of that. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one.